One of the most profitable business you can start in Nigeria today, and it's going to make you really good money, is going to be e-commerce business or mini importation business. So in this video, I'm going to be walking you through the entire process on how you can start a profitable mini importation business or e-commerce business in Nigeria or any part of the world. So without further ado, let's jump right to the video. So firstly, what is e-commerce business? So e-commerce business is just like buying and selling of goods. That is physical goods. That is e-commerce business. E-commerce can also translate to buying and selling of physical digital goods, but in most cases it's for physical goods, something you can touch and feel. And e-commerce business is divided into different parts. We have dropshipping, we have mini importation, we have local arbitrage. Now the local arbitrage is a situation where you buy the product locally from your country in bulk and ship it to your house, then start reselling it. The mini importation is when you buy the product in bulk from abroad, maybe from Turkey, China, Bangladesh, send it to your house and start selling it. While the dropshipping is when you buy the product directly from the supplier and send it to the buyer without touching the product. That means you don't physically touch the product. It's just from your supplier to your buyer. But the one I find most profitable and is going to be mini importation. Although you can still go into dropshipping business and make decent amount of money. I know some people that make really good money from dropshipping business as well. I'm not talking about all the Shopify dropshipping and selling to the US market and all that. I'm talking about the local dropshipping, especially in Nigeria, maybe in Nigeria, Ghana, and Cameroon and thereabouts. So you can still do dropshipping and make decent amounts, but there is limit to the amount you can make in dropshipping, especially when your supplier do not have the capacity to have the goods in bulk. Imagine you have 500 orders per month, and your supplier can only supply you 200 products per month. So you are limited to start working with different supplier and all that. So you can still work with different supplier, but another consideration on dropshipping is that when you dropship, the supplier you are buying from imports it from China. So when you import it from China, you also want to make a profit. So for example, there's a product I'm selling right now, and I was getting that product from China for about 4,500, and the landing cost is less than 10,000 naira. But when I try to dropship the product here in Nigeria, the supplier tried to sell the product for me for 25,000 naira. That is, the supplier was already making 15,000 naira ahead, even before you start adding your own profit. Now what I do is that initially I was supposed to dropship the product. So after talking to the supplier and I do my calculation, I decided to tag the product price at 49,000 naira. Then after some time, the supplier ran out of stock. So at this point, I know that, okay, I have to import the product myself. So I import it for, the landing cost was less than 10,000 naira, I said earlier. Then I was still selling it for the same 49,000 naira. So it means I was selling it for like ×5 of the initial price. Meanwhile, when I was buying from the local supplier, I was selling it ×2. You understand? ×2 when I was buying it from the local supplier. But when I import it from China myself, I was selling it ×5 of the price I bought it. So you tend to make more profits when you are, doing many importing from China compared to when you are buying locally. Some people are going to try to convince you that it's cheaper to buy locally and all that. That is only true if the goods you are buying is heavy goods, like goods that is heavy, and the local supplier has to ship it by sea. And because you cannot wait, or you don't have the minimum CBM to ship by sea, you ship by air. For example, this particular goods I'm talking about, the shipping, if I'm to ship it by sea, it's about 3,000 to 5,000 or thereabouts by pieces. But if I'm to ship it by air, I think it cost me around 15,000 naira or thereabouts to ship it by air. So I end up shipping it by sea, which kind of cut down the cost. You understand? So I'm just explaining the type of e-commerce business we have. So as I said earlier, dropshipping, mini importation, and local arbitrage, and I've explained all these three to you. Now, why should you do importation business or e-commerce business? The reason why you should do importation business is because it requires low capital. You can start the business for 50,000 naira and you can still get something maybe decent to start with, but it's highly recommend that you start with anything like 200k. If you start with 200k, you are guaranteed to make like 25 to 50% profit at the end of the month, meaning after you sell off that goods, you should be expecting to make 300k to 400k back, and this can happen within a month or 3 months. So considering the fact that you invest your money, you invest 200k in an app, and after 3 months the app give you back 300k to 400k. You understand? You invest 200k, then after 3 months you get 300k to 400k back. So that is like, it's like an investment, but you have the full control of the, or you can even make more than that, but I don't want to exaggerate the amount you can make, but at least that is the realistic price, realistic amount that you can make with, mini importation business. So another reason why you should go into mini importation or dropshipping business or e-commerce business in general is because you don't even have to employ people to start with. You can do the whole thing yourself. When I started, I was doing the whole thing myself, although right now I outsource, most of the part of the business. But for starting, you can, do the whole thing yourself. Another part is that you don't have to have an office or shop to sell. So most of your activity is going to be online, selling on GG, selling on Facebook Marketplace, selling with Facebook adverts, selling on TikTok. You don't need customer to come to your office. If at all a customer requests for pickup, you can just give the customer the closest bus stop to you. Then you go to the bus stop, then you meet the customer, then you give the customer the product, because there are some customers like that they will insist that they want to come and pick up the product. Understand? So that is why you should do e-commerce business. Who can run e-commerce business? Anybody can run e-commerce business. Either you are a student, 9 to 5 workers, either you are jobless, or you are a freelancer. It's e-commerce business is like, it just gives you this advantage to leverage on. Like, you can do it, depends on how busy you are. Even though you don't have any time, you can assess everything about the business. But if you are jobless, on the other hand, it kind of give you better advantage because you have full control of the business to do, most part of the business, which kind of, sometimes this kind of reduce the cost, especially when you are doing delivery yourself. You kind of reduce the cost amounts you are going to pay for delivery. Because right now, if you are in Nigeria, the minimum they can charge you for delivery is like probably 3,000, 4,000. But if you have like 4 orders going, maybe you are in Lagos, you have 4 orders going outside. If you deliver it yourself, you can spend like 5,000 naira on transport. Depends on your location and the location you are doing delivery to. But what I'm saying in essence is that you are going to be cutting down costs if you are doing most of this thing yourself compared to when you outsource it. You understand? But anybody can do it, whether you are a student, 9 to 5 worker, freelancer, you don't have any work, still at home mom, or you just need something side hustling, or you just have some money and you don't want to keep it to your bank account and you want to just use it to do business. E-commerce business can do all those things. So what are the requirements to start e-commerce business or mini importation business? Now the requirement to start is going to be a laptop and phone. Now most people are going to tell you don't need a laptop. Then the truth is that you might not need a laptop, but having a laptop is kind of give you added advantage. So you can get a laptop these days maybe like 100 or less than 100k. You can even get like all these Chromebook laptop. You can get some of them like 70k, 60k, but it's just something that is kind of bigger screen. You understand? Because when you are running Facebook adverts, it kind of give you more leverage when you have bigger screen compared to when you are doing it on your phone. And also when you are designing your website, because you need to have a website where you are directing customer. Although you can still start without website where you direct customer to your WhatsApp, but it's kind of stressful. I'm not going to lie, kind of stressful when you direct customer to your WhatsApp and you start replying, especially when you are not good at replying messages. Some customers are going to message you by midnight, early in the morning. You have to wake up and start, doing all those reply. But when you have website, you just redirect them to the website. They see the product, then they place the order. Then once they place the order, you direct them to your WhatsApp. That means you are closing the sales on WhatsApp. You are not making the sales on WhatsApp. But when you redirect them to the WhatsApp directly, you are going to chat, price, then you are going to request for the detail manually when they are ready to order. Most of the people that are going to get on your WhatsApp are people that are going to tell you, I will be ready by month end. I will be ready by on the 15th, and all those kind of people. But when you have your website, they are most 90% of them are ready, so they just place the order. Then the next thing is for you to just deliver. So as I said earlier, you need a laptop or phone, you need a website, you might not, website is not a must, but is an added advantage. Then you need the cash. You need an ATM card to make payments for your, if you are buying yourself from China, you need an ATM card, or what they call Alipay, is a Chinese app, like Chinese payments app. So that is what you are going to use to pay your Chinese supplier. Alternatively, if you don't want to pay your supplier yourself, you can actually use what they call procurement agent. So that procurement agent is going to help you to make the payment. So basically, those are the few things you need. You also need a Facebook account if you are going to be running Facebook adverts, which was what I'm going to recommend when you are going to mini importation or dropshipping business locally. Now, once you have all these things in place, the first thing you want to do, once you are ready, your mind is ready, you are ready physically, financially, the next thing you want to do is to do a product research. So product research is when you look for product to sell, and there's different way you can do this. You can do this using some spy Facebook spy tools. So what those tools help you to do is that they help you to look at the advert that has been running for a while, and they help you pull out some information about the product, which is going to give you the kind of overview if the product worth of promoting or not. And also you can also use Facebook. There's an extension you can install on your Facebook browser, that anything you are going to be seeing on your Facebook browser is going to be adverts throughout. So when you are seeing adverts, you can kind of analyze the adverts. Although when you are selecting a product, there are a few things you have to look at. You have to look at the product price, especially when you are importing it, the alternative to the product, the scarcity, is the product evergreen? Does the product have a unique selling point? Does it have emotional value? Does the product solve a problem? How about the profit margin? As like the example I gave earlier, if you are buying products locally for 25,000 naira, you should be able to resell it for 50,000 naira. If you are buying it from China for 10,000, the same product from China for 10,000 naira, you should be able to resell it for the same amount. So which kind of give you a leverage. Like if you have to buy product from China for 10,000 naira, you sell it for 49,000 naira, and you buy the same product in Nigeria locally for 25,000 and you sell it the same 49,000 naira. It's the same price, but you make more profit when you buy from China. Another thing you have to keep in mind when you buy from China is that when you buy from China, you have to wait for some time, because you have to ship the product, buy the product and all that. For example, when you use C, you have to wait for like 2 months before the product arrives. So you can kind of start with the dropshipping module while you import the product. You understand? While you import the product, while the product is on the way, you can start with the dropshipping, making little bit amount of profit and all that. On average, making, depends on you, but from experience, the profit you can make from e-commerce business depends. But when you are starting out, you might be looking at maybe something like 1,000 naira to 5,000 naira per profit for the product, depending on the product. If you are selling low ticket product that is below 15,000 naira, then you can expect to make, within that range of that price, within that range of that profit, 1,000 naira to like 5,000 naira. If you are selling product between 15,000 naira to like, let me just say 25,000 naira or 30,000 naira, you can expect to make like 5,000 naira to 10,000 naira profit per sales. If you are selling products above 30,000 naira, for like the product I'm selling for 49,000 naira, after I remove the advert expenses, the delivery fee, that is delivery within Nigeria, and all that, I'm still left with 20,000 to 30,000 naira per profit. So the thing is that depends on how the product is how expensive the product is, and the kind of value that the product offer. If your product, the value of your product, it can be easily compared to another product, then you cannot attach high price to that product. But if the value of your product cannot be compared to another product, then you can, kind of level up the price of the product, which kind of give you more profits. So that is what you have to keep in mind. So I said earlier, you can use Facebook ad to do your product research. You can use Aspy tool, as I said earlier. Then you can use AliExpress. You can use TikTok. You can use there are a lot of things you can use for find a product to sell. I talk about it in my 7-figure product profit system course. You can check the description of this video to check out the course. You understand? So that is for the product research. Now, after you are done with the product research, the next thing is to do product sourcing and product buying. So let me just, walk you through the practical of how you can do product sourcing and product buying. Alright, so mostly the website I use for my importation, 90% of the time, is 1688 or 1688, depending on how people call it. So for you to search for products here, this website is in Chinese because the intention of this website is built for the Chinese, people. But you can translate it when you are using browser, your laptop. You can also translate it when you are using phone. The same way you can translate. You can see that everything is now in English. So once you get here, the way I search for my product, there's different way you can search for product. You can use this search box to type the product in English. Like, let me just say smartwatch. Okay, so that is how you can use it to search for the product in English. But the problem is that because this website is built on Chinese, you might not get reasonable amount of results when you use English to search for the product. So what you can do is that you can translate this your English search to Chinese by going to Google and type Chinese to English. So Chinese to English is going to land you on a page like this. So just copy and paste the Chinese to English. So it's going to be English to Chinese. So copy the products you want to search for here. Then this is going to be the Chinese version. Just copy it. Then come back to this page. Then you can just remove this. Then paste it. Then it's going to give you this. Then you can click on search. So once you click on search this way, it kind of give you more reasonable result, like more result than when you use this, this English one. Now, the one I like to use most is going to be this image fixtures. So I'm just going to click on this image fixtures. Then I'm going to pick the product. So I'll pick the product. Once I pick the product, it's going to redirect me. Then it's going to land me here. So this is the product I will try to look for. So once you get here, there's few things you can look out for here to select high quality product, and I've already created a video on how you can go about it. But basically, you can actually get a very cheap product here. Then once you get the product, you get the supplier, which I already talked about in one of my videos. I said I'm going to leave the video in the description of this so I can go through it and see how you can use this website properly, find really good products. Then once you are able to find out products, you can go ahead and pay the supplier yourself. But for you to pay the supplier yourself, you need Alipay. Although, as at the time I was recording this video, you can now pay with your ATM card on Alipay on 1688. But it's just something that was newly introduced then. I think in the next few months, it should be something that people are really aware of and people are using more often. But when you pay with Alipay, it's kind of cheaper compared to when you pay with card. Once you select the products, you find the products, you select the products, you pay the supplier. If you cannot pay the supplier yourself, there's what they call procurement agents. As I said earlier, there's what they call procurement agents. So the job of that procurement agent is for you to send the procurement agent your own currency. In my own case, I'm going to send the procurement agent Naira, the total amount in Naira. Then the procurement agent is going to pay these people. This currency is called yuan. This currency is called yuan or RMB. So they are going to pay them in this currency, which is Chinese currency. Then we are good to go. Sometimes the procurement agent is going to provide you with the shipping address, but I highly recommend that you get the shipping address yourself. And I also created a video here on the 7 shipping address that you can use to ship your product from China to Nigeria. And also you can check the description of this video. I think I've talked about 3 videos now. When you do your product research and you find the product you want to buy, you go to 1688 or Alibaba or Pinduoduo or there's other Chinese website there, but these are the most used one. 1688, Alibaba, Pinduoduo. I use 1688 99% of the time. I only go to Alibaba if product I'm looking for on 1688 I could not able to find it, or I have a limited supplier there. So I don't usually use Alibaba that much. Then Pinduoduo is a website or app I rarely use, but people do use it. So once I'm able to find the product you want to buy or import, you search for the products on this website. Then you pay for it. I said earlier, you can pay for it with your Alipay account. For you to verify that Alipay account, you have to open it and verify it. For you to verify it, you need a passport, that is travel passport, to verify that Alipay. And also they have introduced a new payment method, which is you can pay with card now, although it's not yet popular. At the time I was making this video, but you can pay with card now, 68 Now, if you don't want to pay yourself, you can use what they call procurement agents. So these are the people that you send Naira or your own currency and they help you to pay. And once you're able to pay, the next thing is to ship. Now, as I said earlier, the shipping company, you want to select the shipping company yourself. As I said earlier, I've recommended about 7 shipping companies in one of my videos. So you can just go through that video and select, the one that you are good to go with. So once you ship the product to Nigeria and you receive it, the next thing you want to do is to create a website. If you don't know how to create a website, funny enough, I've created a video on how you can create a mini importation website. That is website to sell your mini importation product. In fact, you can start this thing for like free. You understand? With the kind of knowledge, like with the kind of video I've provided so far on this channel, you can start for free without buying any of my course. If you are buying any of my course or you are enrolling for any of my program, it means that you just want me to hold your hand. You understand? To get to the right this thing, because with that video you should be able to do 1 or 2 things. But the problem is that sometimes you get stuck at some point, you understand, and you need someone to talk to. Now the truth is that if you talk to me without being my student, it's very hard for me to respond to you, because one thing you have to understand is that I'm also a business owner. I'm running this business myself, and this business requires my time. So you don't expect me to give you that time for free when I can use it to run my business and make more money. The goal of every business owner is to make more money. And another thing that I might not be able to respond to you on is that I also have some paid students that pay me for this same purpose or for my other courses. So I believe that those students also need my attention more than students that don't pay me, because they trust me with their money. So you should expect me to have time for them. So, but what I'm saying in essence is that you can start all this thing for free without enrolling for any of my course or any course online with the information I've provided so far on this channel. But if you need something that you need, step-by-step guide, someone that can hold your hand, I believe that you just need to enroll for one-on-one training. Although I do offer a one-on-one training before, but now I don't offer it again because of my time. So what I do is that I offer a group training where I just get 10 people, I trade them in a group, and I hold their hands to hit their first 1 million naira. Now, I don't run this kind of program every month or very often. I only run it 4 times in a year, which is every 3 months. So if you want to, join the next one that will be coming up, you can just check the description of this video. You are going to see a link there. The link is going to redirect you to a WhatsApp group so that you can join the waitlist. One thing you have to keep in mind is that you are going to join the waitlist for free, but when the enrollment is available, when it's open for students to join, you should keep in mind that I usually charge between 150,000 to 250,000 naira per student for 10 students. You understand? It's going to be in a group. It's not going to be in one-on-one training. Before, it's usually a one-on-one training, but I charge like 300k for one-on-one training. But now, to make it easier for everyone and to reduce the price, I make it a group training where I can only accommodate 10 people. Once I get that 10 people, I'm not accepting anybody again. So it's between 150,000 to 250,000. So if you have the money, you can join. But if you don't have, there's no point of joining, because when the program is live, you might not be able to afford it. So there's no point. So, but what I'm saying in essence is that you can start all this thing with the video I've uploaded on this channel so far. So I said earlier, once you ship your product to your country and it arrives, then it's time to build a website. I said earlier, I've already created a video on how you can create an e-commerce website that you can display your product. Then you send the customer to that website. Then once the customer gets to that website, they'll be able to, fill the form, then buy the product. You will receive their information, the name, phone number, delivery address, how much they are buying, and all those information. They'll be able to deliver it to them. You understand? So once you create the website, the next thing is to start promoting the product. Usually you can start for free. If you are from Nigeria or some Africa country, you can use GG to start for free. But the problem with GG these days is that most of the products that was there is paid. So their product is going to be ahead of your product if you can't pay. But you can still start for free. They still have free version. You can start with TikTok. One thing you have to keep in mind when you are starting with TikTok is that it does take time. You don't start with TikTok today and expect to start making thousands of sales today. Although that can happen, but it it requires luck. So we are not working with luck here, even though you can get lucky. So you have to keep that in mind, that if you are going with TikTok, it can take you like 6 months to 12 months to start, seeing results. And that is the time that you might have created a lot of video, build your audience, and you have reasonable amount of follower that people can trust you. And also, one you have to keep in mind is that when you are doing it on TikTok, you can offer payment before delivery, because the one we do right now is payment on delivery, because we run Facebook adverts. Nobody wants to trust you when you are running Facebook adverts for a product. But if you build your TikTok audience and you can, you have patience for at least 1 year or 6 months, sometimes it can take less. You can get customer to trust you and pay you before delivery. So if you have this, if your goal is to get paid before you deliver the product, then I think going with TikTok is your best bet. And when you are going with TikTok, you don't need to set up your website. You just redirect them to your WhatsApp. Also, you can do the same thing on Instagram, just that it takes time to build audience on Instagram. So you can promote it on TikTok, Facebook group, GG, Facebook Marketplace as well. You can promote it on Facebook Marketplace. And also you can use Facebook advert, which is what I use 100% of the time. So I don't have time to create a TikTok video for my product. I don't have time to be, post it on GG. I don't have time to post it on Facebook group or Facebook Marketplace. So I use adverts 100% of the time. Although when I newly started, I usually use Facebook group and Facebook Marketplace. And at that time, I don't think there's TikTok, or maybe it's not popular yet. So that was 2018. I think the TikTok has already been in existence by then, but it's not really that popular like now. So that is just it. So for the marketing, I said earlier, those are the platform you can use for your marketing. Now, once you start marketing and you start getting sales, it's time to do delivery. Now, for the delivery, you can either deliver it yourself, use a logistic company, or use what they call delivery agents. Now, before now, I usually use logistic company. At some point, when the logistic company wants to run me down, I start doing delivery myself. When I was doing delivery myself, at some point I get really tired and got sick because of the stress. So that is when I start, using delivery agents. Now, right now we have about 12 delivery agents that do delivery in Lagos, Port Harcourt, and Abuja. So those are the 3 locations we deliver to right now. So for starting, I will advise you to do the delivery yourself if you have the time. But if you don't have the time, you can kind of consider delivery company or logistic company. But those people can frustrate you anyway. So, and also, if you don't have the time or you don't want to use the logistic company, you can still use a delivery agent. So that delivery agent is just going to serve like you are the one doing the delivery, but they are going to be paying more. Right now, you can expect to pay delivery agent between 2,000 Naira to 7,000 Naira, or more than 7,000 Naira sometimes, depends on the location. If they are doing delivery to somewhere like Ibejuleki, like all the Dangote refinery, you are going to be charging you like all Ekwe, they're going to be charging you like 8,000 Naira or thereabouts. But if you are doing delivery to Badagry, those area like outskirts. But if you are doing delivery to all this Bagada, Egbeda, that is if you are from Lagos. So if you are in Lagos, different location with different pricing. So I just want you to keep that in mind. But if you expect to pay 2,000 Naira to like 7,000 Naira on average for delivery agents. But if you are using logistic company, most of the logistic company in Nigeria right now, the minimum they charge is like 3,500 or 4,000 Naira minimum. So you can expect to pay 4,000 Naira to like 10,000 Naira for logistic company. But if you are doing delivery yourself, you are going to cut down a lot of cost, like badly, like you are going to save a lot of money. In fact, I advise you to start doing delivery yourself when you are just starting. This kind of give you more profits, because if you are going out to do 4 delivery, you can kind of smell like maybe like 6,000 or 7,000 Naira to do on transport to do all those delivery, those 4 delivery. But if you are giving the delivery to a delivery agent or a logistic company, and they charge you 5,000 Naira on each delivery, it means that you are going to be charging you for like 20,000 Naira to deliver all those products, or 20,000 Naira, 20,000 Naira to deliver those 4 products. So you can kind of save that money that you are supposed to pay them and add it as your profits. Because when you want to buy more products, it's kind of, the money is kind of that means you have more profit to work with. more money to work with. I hope you get my point. But basically, you can deliver yourself, use logistic company, or use what they call self-delivery agents. And I also create a video on how you can use self-delivery agents, and also have a course on that as well. So you can just check the description of this video on how you can use self-delivery agents, or how you can get self-delivery agents, basically. So delivery is the last part. Once you start getting delivery, you deliver the product and you get paid, then you repeat the process over and over again. Import my products, follow the same process. When you are done with the delivery, import my product. You keep importing the product, as far as the product is still selling, you keep importing it, selling it, importing it, selling it, until you see that the product is the sales is kind of going down. There was a particular product I sold. I don't know if I can see the product here. Okay, so this particular product, this is window net repair tape. This product, I think it lasts like 2 years. I was selling it for straight 2 years, and the product was still selling. Even as at now, the product was still selling. But the only problem is that the profit margin is so low, so I have to stop selling the product. So you keep selling the product until your product margin is low, or the sales has dropped down. You now find another product. So basically, that is going to be the end of how you can start profitable e-commerce business, meaning importation business in Nigeria. And as I said earlier, I do mentor 10 people in a group every 3 months on how you can hit your first 1 million naira in e-commerce business. So the whole process is that I train you one-on-one, like not really one-on-one, but me with you in a 10 group in a live video. Then I walk you through the whole process, walk you through how you can get products, how you just, like give you the templates, and also hold your hand and guide you through until you hit your first 1 million naira. You understand? It's not that when you hit your first 1 million naira, you stop the business. No. It's just that when you hit your first 1 million naira, I can now leave you alone to start doing the business yourself, because you have now gained experience over time working with me for you to hit that first 1 million naira. You can join the waitlist in the description of this video. To join the waitlist is free, but when the class is open to get students, because right now I'm not accepting any students. I said earlier, this only happens 4 times in a year, which is every 3 months. I run this class every 3 months. After 3 months, another batch came in. Then after 3 months, another batch came in. That is how I usually run. It's not that something I run every day. Before, it used to be one-on-one training, but now, because of my time I have for the business and other things, I have to make it a group training. So to join the waitlist is free, but when the class is open for enrollment, it's usually between 150k to 250k. If you are from other country, you're also going to get the price on the group. So you can join the waitlist. Go ahead and join the waitlist. If you want me to hold your hand step by step until you hit your first 1 million naira. So basically, that is how you can start a profitable mini importation business or e-commerce business right here in Nigeria. And I hope you find this video helpful. I hope you find this video valuable. If you find this video helpful, kindly give this video a thumbs up so that YouTube can recommend this video to more people like you. Share this video with your friends, subscribe to this channel, turn on the bell notification so that anytime I drop a new video just like this, you'll be among the first people to be notified.